Greetings, my friends. I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I have some news leaked from behind the magic curtain of a potential uprising inside Disneyland on the 18th of this month, a protest against an absurd woke overreach that has reached the boiling point. It is my hope that you folks will get involved in this struggle, because even if you don't care about theme parks or Song of the South, this is a matter of principle and a way to support the war to save pop culture on yet another front. So please listen to what I have to say, and if you agree this is a worthy cause, spread the word about this protest being organized in Disneyland on March 18th. Now, I did a video last month about the Civil War inside Disney over the issue of Splash Mountain. It's Bob Iger versus Ken Potrock, the president of Disneyland Resorts. Iger wants to close Splash Mountain in Disneyland, just as he did in Disney World, for reasons that are entirely woke, to appease the purple-haired weirdos who, I suppose, believe that the banned Disney feature film Song of the South invented discrimination or started the Civil War or some such nonsense. Iger and the board members that support him are just engaging in some good old-fashioned virtue signaling to calm the Twitterati out there on social media, whereas Ken Potrock knows this is entirely unnecessary politically correct nonsense that people who are fans of Disney parks just love the ride and don't want to see it go away for no reason at all. It's part of history. There's nothing inappropriate or racist about the ride, and Ken Potrock doesn't think that a beloved ride should be sacrificed on the altar of wokeness just to rack up a few empty virtue signaling points. I did a video about this situation when I received a lengthy tip from an inside source reaching out to me to help spread the word about the battle to save this treasured ride. And after I published that video, I was contacted by another source who informed me that the higher-ups at Disney did not like that video at all. They wanted to keep the situation quiet and stealthily demolish the ride before the public was really aware it was happening, like they did in Disney World. Their plan was to turn it into a woke-branded and approved ride starring Princess Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Yeah, I know, I've never heard of The Princess and the Frog movie either, but apparently it has a princess of color in it, and so the fact this is not a Disney classic film and many don't even know it exists, it doesn't matter. It signals the right virtue, and that's why it's being pushed. Now, how do I know that Disney didn't like my video? I know this because a source inside Disney reached out to me with information about an organized protest rally that is scheduled for March 18th in just 1 week from today, and they asked for my help in getting the word about this protest out. That's right, my friends. There is a resistance cell inside Disney that is on our side, and they are as sick and tired of the wokeness destroying everything as we are. And so in this video, I am giving you an update on what's happening in this war to save Splash Mountain, but this is more than a battle to save a theme park attraction. Because this ride is being targeted for demolition entirely due to its loose association with Song of the South, a movie that Disney now shuns for reasons of political correctness, it's yet another battlefront in the larger war to save pop culture, so even if you never ride this ride, its fate is an issue we should care about. My friends, here is a chance to make a difference and push back against virtue signaling overreach. In my first video, I quoted my initial source on this who said, quote, "Back in October, Ken Potrock became active in trying to stop Splash Mountain from being closed. He is very concerned over customer backlash and the negative impact it will have on the parks. He was having some luck with Bob Chapek and the board. The board was and still is divided on the issue. Back in early November, Ken pretty much had Bob on board to keep Splash Mountain. They were trying to come up with some sort of public exploration as to why Splash Mountain would not be rethemed, and were scampering to come up with other ways to bring Princess Tiana to the parks. Behind the scenes, Bob Iger was very against this and wanted the retheme to happen. Once Bob Chapek was out, Iger wasted no time. He put a plan together to announce the closing of the attractions. Ken Potrock also acted quickly. He moved up the timeline on a major Indiana Jones refurb, knowing that Splash Mountain could not be closed at the same time that Indiana Jones and Toontown were both closed. He did this mainly to buy time. Disney still plans to close the Disneyland version of the ride. They are currently targeting May or even early April. They plan to announce the closure in mid to late March, possibly even sooner if Iger gets his way. Ken Potrock is fighting this tooth and nail. He has a little less than half of the board of directors on his side. Ever since they closed the ride at Magic Kingdom, the complaints from customers wanting Splash Mountain to stay has been growing exponentially, unquote. That's what I initially reported. Shortly after I did that video, I was contacted by a follow-up source who was asking for my help in publicizing the protest coming on the 18th. Here's what this source had to tell me, quote, "Certain people saw your video a little while back and didn't like it. I just wanted to say that the battle continues. I'm sure you've heard reports of delays in certain things opening. That's not an accident. Repairs are also being made to Splash Mountain, as Ken is really hell-bent on keeping the ride. Bob Iger and a few members of the board do not like videos like yours because it brings public attention to the situation. They want to just keep quiet about it, close the ride inconspicuously, and hope the problem goes away. They really do have the attitude that if you ignore things, they go away. Disney has a lot of power in getting influencers and certain news reporting organizations not to report on stuff like this, or at the very least, to put a Disney-friendly spin on it. They are starting to get slightly worried about a protest that a group is trying to organize on the 18th at Disneyland to save the ride. This has been coming for a while. At first, they were not too concerned and didn't think it would bring many people, but now Inside the Magic is reporting it, and they are starting to get worried that news might spread. I'm trying to contact anybody that I can in order to spread the word. I think that this is an important cause. I think it's a good opportunity to stick it to the company's wokeness and make a statement, and maybe even save this ride. But we need to bring a lot of attention to it fast. Once the high corporate level starts to engage in this, they lose, unquote.
So basically, this is a great way for people to send a message that they don't like parts of their history being sacrificed on the ultra wokeness just to appease a bunch of twits on the Twitter. So you're saying go to the protest, Doomcock?
Well, if you live in California and can go to attend that protest, that would be definitely the thing to do, Harvey. But even if you don't live in California, there's still a way you can help derail this PC overreach, and that's by spreading the word about this Disneyland protest on March 18th. Forward this video to friends, to family, to any media outlets you suspect might not be in Disney's pocket. Make your own videos, talk about it in live streams. In short, help get the word out about this protest on March 18th to save Splash Mountain. And not only Splash Mountain, my friends. They're not stopping there, apparently. My source also mentioned this bit of information at the end of the message. Quote, "Another reason I wrote to you today, Splash Mountain is not the only classic attraction in danger at Disneyland. As you probably heard, they are planning an Avatar experience for Disneyland. It's not going to be based on the original movie, but will be based on Way of Water. It's going to be placed in the lagoon area of Disneyland and will, at a very minimum, replace Nemo's subway journey. They are currently trying to decide on the scope of the project. It might end up being something smaller and just replace that one ride, but they are also seriously discussing closing Autopia and making it a full land. They think that Autopia is a huge waste of space and that a Way of Water area would be a nice transition from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland. It's actually a pretty nice plan, and I don't have a huge problem with that part of it, but there's always a but. This is going to kill the plan to bring back the People Mover, which fans have wanted forever. There have also been discussions about giving Matterhorn Mountain a theming update, but I believe they are moving away from that as a result of Splash Mountain. Unquote. So there you have it, my friends. Change is in the air at Disneyland, and not good change. Unless we fight these sorts of politically correct revisions of our past, our world will come to resemble, more and more, bit by bit, the world of 1984, where ministries of truth erase all traces of any past events that don't fit into the narrative of the ruling elites, and you only get to see, read, think the concepts that are approved by Big Brother, or in this case, Big Mickey. Spread the word about March 18th, my friends, and stay angry. Ha 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 ha.